3 employees of the Russian state TV channel NTV were wounded in Horlivka, Donetsk Oblast, during an illegal work trip to Ukraine, filming a report. Among the illegals was Alexei Ivliev, one of the most experienced reporters in the country. The illegals are in critical condition. In the other news, Moscow exchange shares collapsed by almost 16% after the imposition of US sanctions. Russia must be winning. No panic among Z bloggers. They're ready to get F-16s. We are sitting with Zhivov Z. Judging by the numerous attacks on our air defense in the south, we are on the verge of a massive NATO air raid. Most likely the F-16 and other aircraft for Ukraine have already been prepared and are at a low start. All these statements about imminent transfer are the usual fog of war. One can guess whether foreign pilots will be at the controls. This is not so important. The commander-in-chief of the Ukrainian Airforce has already stated that some of the aircraft received from the United States will be based in Eastern Europe, especially considering the experience of Vietnam. But most likely there will be a flight of dozens of aircraft, each of which will carry a substantial bomb load. The target could be the group in Crimea and the Dnieper group. This is an American classic of American air warfare, albeit at the hands of a Ukrainian avatar. The basis of all American offensive strategies is air power. First comes the stage of overcoming air defense due to PRSM and ATAC-MS missiles. Then, NATO aviation based on the F-16 comes into play, under the wings of which there is a wide range of ammunition. Observing the latest events, one can indeed come to the conclusion that the states, under the Ukrainian flag, are clearing their skies for the use of the aviation armada, prepared in advance in Romania and Poland. In a sense, this is a risk, but the Western allies are confident that we will not respond to airfields in Poland and Romania. View from inside a T-90M being hit by an ATGM, which doesn't penetrate. The internal flame is what's known as a flare-back from the main armament being fired. It is basically leftover propellant that was inside the breach still burning out. It isn't from the ATGM strike. At least 22 Sri Lankans have deserted the Russian army and returned home, the country's defense minister said. They were promised regular jobs, high salaries and benefits in Russia, including Russian citizenship, but upon arrival they were sent to fight in Ukraine, AFP reports. One of the Lankans who returned home, 37-year-old Anil Madhusanka, told the agency that he was promised a job as a driver in Russia, but instead was handed a gun and sent to the front lines. There, he was wounded by shrapnel in both legs and hospitalized. From there, Madhusanka escaped to the Sri Lankan embassy, which sent him to his home country. According to relatives of the Lankans who left to work in Russia, they were counting on lucrative non-combat work and are now desperate to return home. "We are asking for help to get our husbands back," 49-year-old Renuka Karunaratne said. She says her husband was tricked into traveling to Russia by an agent who was paid $10,000 by the family for employment. For this purpose, Renuka and her husband sold all their property and mortgaged part of their house. The agency notes that advertisements on WhatsApp promise Lankans in Russia a monthly salary of $2,100, 13 times the average income in Sri Lanka, and plots of land in Russia. Sri Lankan authorities estimate the number of citizens involved in Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine at 280. The exact number of the Lankans who traveled to Russia is unknown. If Putin succeeds in Ukraine, he will not stop. Robert Habeck, Vice Chancellor of Germany and Federal Minister for Economic Affairs and Climate Action.
This is saying, mostly from the right-wing parties, why do we give money to Ukraine? We can use it in our country. from my perspective, this is wrong. We have to understand what the cause of the war is. The Ukrainians are not only defending their right for freedom, they are defending the European idea for freedom and peace. So if Putin succeeds in Ukraine, he will not stop. It is our own interest as well that we supply Ukraine with money and also military and defense goods. It is our own interest. To say we only look in our small environment, our own country, not seeing what is happening in Europe is politically wrong, short-sighted actually.
A Russian woman explains to her fellow Russians who they really are in no uncertain terms: invaders, terrorists, and murderers.
Слушайте, ну гордиться тем, что ты родился русским, это то же самое, что гордиться тем, что ты родился, например, во вторник. Россияне, успокойтесь, вы не сверхнация, наша страна не сверхдержава, не существует никакого величия. Мы на данный момент захватчики чужих территорий, мы принесли нескончаемую боль украинцам, тех, на чьих землях у большинства из нас сейчас живут родственники. Нападать на тех, кто меньше тебя, это не величие, убивать мирное население на их территории, это не героизм. Мы совершаем преступления, за которые придется отвечать. Наши связи тесно переплетены, и мы убиваем тех, с кем многие семьи россиян имеют родственные связи. Солдаты именно нашей армии все земли Украины залили кровью. Вы выбрали веру бункерному деду и верите пропаганде вместо здравомыслия. В 2014 году именно наши войска нарушили границы Украины, и этому есть доказательства. Если бы Гиркин-Стрелков с армией России не нарушил границу суверенного государства Украины, не было бы сейчас никакой войны. Украинцы выбирают президента своей страны не раз в 25 лет, как мы. Вы хоть понимаете, что в России уже 25 лет один и тот же недочеловек вами управляет? Впереди еще как минимум 6 лет тоталитарного режима. Тоталитаризм – это политический режим, подразумевающий абсолютный контроль государства над всеми аспектами общественной и частной жизни. Многие из тех, кто пошел воевать в Украину, родились при безумном деде и умирают при нем же по его приказу. А украинцы вправе сами решать, с кем им быть, с Россией или Европой. Их выбор – это Европа. Они не хотят с нами иметь ничего общего. И я их прекрасно понимаю. Невозможно принудить к любви. Невозможно заставить людей хотеть быть рядом с убийцами, насильниками и преступниками. Мы недостойны прощения у тех, у кого наша нация забирает сейчас будущее. А в истории именно россияне будут прописаны во всех учебниках как захватчики и оккупанты, как преступники, мародеры и насильники. Войну в Украине можно отследить практически онлайн, выключив ящик с пропагандой и начать подключать свое мышление. Когда-нибудь вы или ваши потомки будут раскапывать руками братские могилы, и вам придется осознать то, что вы соучастники в гибели тысяч и тысяч украинцев, мирно проживающих на их территориях, пока именно мы не решили, что они нацисты. А по факту нацисты именно россияне, и гордиться этим, по-моему, очень странно. Моя нация стала изгоем во всем здравомыслящем мире, именно из-за таких, как вы, поддержантов путинского режима.
For the end, escort by Ukrainian Su-27S from the 39th Tactical Aviation Brigade, a pair of B-1Bs from the U.S. 28th Bombardment Wing over Ukraine.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.